Bro, 2 years ago, I started working as an engineer, full time, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you know? The standard kind of operating procedure. But I was also boxing in the morning at 5, so I would wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning, go to a boxing session, then go to work all day long, then come back home, eat dinner and go box again. I was doing 2 sessions a day, sometimes even 3 sessions a day, bro. So between July 2023 and January 2024, I had racked up about 400 boxing sessions. And now you might tell me that's overtraining, like you probably were so tired, you probably could barely even function at work. I'd argue that I was one of the highest functioning individuals in that workplace. I was one of the only guys who didn't need a coffee break, never was chased up for any work. Bro, like, my job relied on so many other people doing their work and they never seemed to get any work done. How the hell can a company this big have such a lack of productivity? That's all I ever saw. And then I realized it's because everyone is kept at a lower functioning state. Everyone scrolls on their lunch break. Bro, I had something to look forward to, which was boxing, and it was energizing to me. Bro, I would wake up at 5 o'clock every single day. I would go to sleep about 8:30 every single day, and I was so on the ball. I was so locked in, bro. I would wake up in the darkness. I would wake up when it was cold. I would go outside and I would train. Most people weren't even awake by the time I had completed my boxing session, by the time I'd worked on what was my purpose at the time. Do you know how powerful that is? I would go into work with this vitality, with this energy. I was ready to do everything I needed to complete my tasks, to be the best sort of like worker that I could be. I built my brain to like doing hard work. I hated the job, I'll be completely honest. Bro, imagine studying 3 years of your life in one of the hardest possible degrees at one of the top unis in the country, just to be given a job of a glorified delivery driver. I thought I'd be designing things, I thought I'd be making things from scratch in this job, but bro, I was literally just told, drive all around the country, drive literally all around the UK, and go deliver these things to suppliers. They'd give me like a part of a car that they're gonna build, and say, oh, this is brand new, but we need to go and like test it. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I thought I'm gonna go there, test it myself, maybe even make the improvements myself. No. They saw me as a young, fit, adult male who wouldn't mind driving 8 hours straight every single day. And it was like, bro, that's not really what I was told I'm gonna do. So I basically got tricked. And if I wasn't driving around all day, I was waiting on some next man to do his job so that I could then process all of the parts that I need to then go and deliver. Really bloated company, really unproductive. On average, I'd say people probably did about half an hour of work in their days at that company. And that probably sounds a lot like you. You probably only do about half an hour of stuff throughout the day that's conducive to your goals. So let's change that, bro. You need to build your discipline engine. Let me tell you exactly how to do that. Let's say you've got yourself and your car. You and your car live in a city where 100-meter radius away from your house, there are a few locations. And those locations are the bad habits. They're the scrolling, the gooning, the Netflix, the video games, all of these bad habits. They're only 100 meters away. Your goals are outside of this city, but the bad habits are only 100 meters away. And your car runs on an engine. It is your choice, it is your responsibility to fill that vehicle with enough fuel to make it past the 100 meters. By default, your car can make it 100 meters away. But after 100 meters, it runs out of fuel. It is your responsibility to fuel your discipline engine. Your discipline engine is your mind. It is your responsibility to fuel it up to the point where you can go past that 100 meters, where you can see beyond and you can see your goals. Unfortunately, the way reality works is that you're never ever gonna know when you will reach a specific goal. You'll never know when you're actually gonna get that 6-pack. You never know when you're gonna get your girlfriend. You never know when you're gonna get that dream job. But you know that you're going to get there. You can know that you're in the right direction. The way you know you're in the right direction is if you fuel the engine enough times in order to actually make it, bro. You have to constantly be fueling your discipline engine so that you can keep driving past the bad habits. Every time you stop and you scroll and you play video games and you do all these stupid things, bro, you're depleting the engine. And then you have to go back home and start all over again, and now you're 100 meters away from the bad habits all over again. If you want to start making a real progress towards your goals, you have to fuel the engine. And what that means is by doing good habits. And bro, by doing these good habits, you become the type of man who is then able to reach his goals. You start to build a positive feedback loop. You want that positive feedback loop because then, let's say your goal is a 6-pack, you have to train really fucking hard in the gym to get one. Bro, the only way to ever reach your goals is to fortify that brain. You need to realize that strength is a virtue and it is carried out in all areas of life. It's not just a physical attribute, you have to be mentally strong first. To build the mental strength, The quickest way to do that, the most reliable way to do that, is to make a promise and then carry it out. Say something and then do it. Say something and then do it. And by say something, I don't mean say it to your boys. I don't mean say it to your mum, your girl, your sister, your brother. You say it to yourself, and you maybe even write it down so that it's completely solidified. Start small. Don't go all out and say, I'm gonna have a six-pack in a month. Because if you're fat, you ain't gonna have a six-pack in a month. But you can, in a month, become the kind of guy who can get it within about maybe 6 months. It all starts with your habits. It all starts with your day. It all starts with building that engine. A little bit of fuel every single day, and you will actually get to your goals really, really quick. Bro, once you build up enough momentum and you're going like 100 miles an hour in your car, you will fucking fly by those bad habits. And you won't even see them because your brain doesn't want to do them anymore. You actually have built momentum on another road. That road doesn't have any bad habits on it. And even if it does, you're driving way too fast to even think about doing them. I don't want to scroll anymore, bro. I don't want to go on my phone. I post on Instagram and TikTok nearly every day, and I don't even have the apps on my phone. I don't want to scroll. I don't have the urge to scroll, play video games, go on Netflix. I don't have the urge to do any of that. I don't want to drink alcohol. I don't want to do all these stupid things. I've built the engine, bro, and I'm driving way too fast to be distracted by those bad habits. Laser focused on the goals, and I want you to be as well. Bro, I used to play video games for about 12 hours straight, and sometimes I would actually be on there for 24 hours with no sleep, minimal food, and just like no time away from the screen. This was during lockdown, so it was completely normal to be in your house all the time, playing PlayStation all the time. But bro, I regret this because I could have built such an amazing physique in that time. I could have built up my mind. I could have built up so many different skills and habits. But I just played video games all day long, and it's really sad that that's how the modern day is built around you to make it so easy to do this stuff. Bro, I would be playing for so long that like I could actually smell like my sweat, and it was so fucked up. Like I smelled like fucking Quavers, the crisps, cheese flavored crisps, mate. Like it was disgusting. I don't know how I lived like that. And I'd have the headset on, I would take it off, and even the headset would be sweating. Like I would have like a literal sweat from my ears. Whose ears sweat, bro? Like how the hell did I have sweat forming around my ears? I'd take my headset off, and I'd have a bump in between my head that hasn't even gone now. I've still got a bump in my head. Like if I shaved my head, there'd be a bump from my headphones. That's how much I used to play. Bro, men used to go to war, get scars, like get shot and shit, and now we've got headphone bumps, mate. Like come on, man. This is like, bro, open your fucking eyes. If you've got a headphone bump and you don't have a single scar in your body, you're doing something wrong. Look, man, if you smell like fucking Quavers, yeah, please just take the advice that I'm about to give you, okay? So look, you need to make yourself a small promise. You can't be promising yourself that you're gonna have a six-pack in a month. That's simply not gonna happen. You need to start really fucking small. You need to start really small, bro. Really small, to the point where you just tell yourself, right now, as long as you're not in your car or something stupid like that, if you're sitting down watching this, get up right now and tell yourself, I'm gonna do one press up. If you can do that, then you are one step closer to mastering your mind. Just tell yourself, I will go down to the floor right now and do one press up. I ain't gonna continue this video till you do that, so go do it and then come back to the video and press play. Bro, during that lockdown period, I was literally always video gaming. I was always doing these bad habits. And one day I was scrolling mid-match whilst playing Call of Duty. I was scrolling on TikTok whilst playing the game. And then I saw a video that said, every time you die on your video game, do 5 press-ups. And I thought, damn, like, that's a pretty good idea. Because I always used to think, like, I want to get in really good shape. I want to, like, look really cool and stuff. And I told my boy that I was playing with on my headset on the fucking PlayStation party, I was like, bro, let's do 5 press-ups every time we die. And, bro, I actually started doing that. And then I took it a step further and I thought, why don't I do these 5 press-ups when I wake up? And soon 5 press-ups turned to 20. And, bro, I actually was doing these good habits. I actually even started working out at home sometimes. That one day where I did the 5 press-ups in the morning, I did a full-on workout. I took my backpack, my school bag, and I put a rice bag in there. I started doing pull-ups at home, and I worked up to the point where I was doing 10 kilos weighted as a 50 kilo skinny kid. I was doing 10 kilo weighted pull-ups with a rice bag in my back, and it was all because I started doing 5 press-ups. I told myself, do 5 press-ups. And then, when I told myself, wake up and do 5 press-ups, I've built that promise in my head and I've executed that promise. So now it's actually plausible for me to think, Maybe I could do 10, maybe I could tell myself to do 10 pull-ups. Maybe I could tell myself to do a 5 kilo, 10 kilo weighted pull-up. It was actually then plausible for me to do that. Now look, I wasn't perfect during this time. Nowhere near perfect. My diet was off. I was like, my whole routine was off, but I still sometimes did a good habit. And it was built off of the smallest ever promise. So if you're at this stage where you haven't even promised yourself something good and you haven't carried it out, I really want you to take that lesson, and I really want you to just think, I'm gonna do 1 press up today. That's a joke, isn't it? It sounds like a joke, like I promise myself to do 1 press up. But what's the alternative? You don't promise yourself anything, you continue your bad behaviors and your bad habits, and you stay stuck where you are. If you at least promise yourself you're gonna do 1 press up and then you actually go ahead and do it, you are already ahead of 90% of the guys. Do you understand how low the bar is? Do you understand just what you're competing with? You're competing with complete losers. But only if you take action and you make yourself that small promise right now and you carry out the action right now. Bro, that press-ups habit stuck with me. Bro, even though I was completely caught up in these bad habits, I was completely comfortable, I was always scrolling, I was always playing games. The press-ups really stuck with me because I felt a little bit different inside. I felt an internal shift. And that is the nature of a good habit. It makes you feel good. A good habit makes you feel good. I know it sounds like stupid, but bro, don't you want to feel good? Don't you want to have that confidence within you? Don't you want to feel like you're doing something with your life? Or do you want to stay stuck at where you are? I went from sometimes maybe possibly thinking about doing 5 press-ups and potentially even carrying it out in that day, because I never did these every day in lockdown, but I felt the internal shift. So I went from being very inconsistent and having 1 good habit that I could potentially anchor myself to, but I was really anchored to scrolling and video games. I went from that to now I've been doing about 9 to 10 good habits every single day. Let me repeat that, bro. I do 9 to 10 good habits every single day. So in 10 days, I do 100 good habits. In 10 days, 100 good habits. Bro, it is absolutely crazy what you can achieve if you stack these good habits every single day. You become the kind of man who sets goals and actually achieves them. Bro, there was a dream job that I wanted to apply to, and it fulfilled my every need. The working hours were great. It's Friday, Saturday and Sunday off, so you get a 3-day weekend every single weekend. It's a research only role, research and development, which is like, you actually innovate, you actually make new things, and you actually think, you actually use your brain to do these decisions, bro. Like, as an engineer, that's what I love to do. I'm quite creative and I like this kind of thing. I looked into it, that's the kind of job I want. It's near my home, location's good, the working hours are good, the actual job seems amazing. It's literally my dream job, bro, and obviously like the salary's flipping banging as well. I applied, did the online test, did the interview, did the assessment center, did the presentation, all of these like different stages. And at the end, they gave me a call 2 weeks after the final stage and said, Jas, out of the 14 interviewers, the 14 people who were assessing you and your cohort, you were the top performer out of 2,000 candidates. You came first. They glazed me for like 15 minutes on the phone telling me I got the job. Glazing, just like straight up, going through every single stage that I had, telling me how I was the best. And then I said, obviously was like, oh, thank you sir, blah, blah, blah. But were there any points for improvement? And they said no. 14 people were watching me like a hawk and they had 0 things for me to improve on. Do you think anyone in the history of interviews and all of that at that company ever put up a performance of that caliber? Fuck no. I was the first. I didn't know the most about the company. I'm not the best engineer. I don't have the most experience, but I was the only one who had probably done about 200 good habits every single day before then. I was the only one who woke up at 5 a.m. and trained that day, did a cold shower. I was the only one who had repeated wins every single day. I was the only one who had kept 200 promises, bro. Of course I was gonna win. No one else on that day did that. No one else was as sociable as me on the day. No one else was as well spoken as me throughout the day. I didn't start once because I looked at everyone as my competition. Every time they started, I thought, don't do that. It was a reminder. Every time someone else faltered, because I saw them as competition, because I knew that I'd already done the internal work beforehand, because I knew that I've already had wins before, I've had more wins than these people, I was able to see them as competition, and I was able to see them as the type of competition that I could destroy. So I did. And look, I pin all of that success on the routine. Bro, you can't just watch this video and achieve your goals. You have to take the action, but I can give you the exact blueprint to do so. Here it is, man. Bro, first, you need a non-negotiable. For me, it was to wake up and just bang out press-ups. So when I started doing that every single day, soon I started going boxing every morning. So that would then become 3 non-negotiables, right? So it would be wake up and do press-ups, but it would also be wake up at 5 o'clock, because then I needed time to do boxing before work. And bro, it'll be wake up. Bro, the 3 non-negotiables that I ended up developing were wake up at 5 a.m. and do press-ups. That's 2. 5 a.m, press-ups, and then straight into boxing. Bro, now my 3 non-negotiables are wake up at 5, cold shower, and deep work. The deep work in this case is recording this video. And look, before my deep work was boxing. Now the deep work is recording a video. So you can think, whatever your goal is, you need to have one task that you can do every single morning that will slightly move the needle, that will slightly propel you past that 100 meters of the bad habits. That's how you fuel your discipline engine, bro. You wake up early, and it has to, bro, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock. You have to, bro, you have to try it. There is simply something about waking up and seeing the sun barely rising. You feel the cold air on you when you go outside in the morning. You do those press-ups when your whole family is asleep, your whole fucking street's still asleep. Every single man you know, every single guy that's your competition, the kid next to you who wants to get a better grade, the guy who wants the promotion at your work, the guy at the gym who's training harder than you right now, they're all still asleep, and you're awake doing the hard work that needs to be done to beat those guys and get what you want. There's something about 5 a.m, bro, that when you start doing it, you will realize that you are actually 10 steps closer to the man you need to be just by waking up early. It's the highest leverage thing you can do. Just do it tomorrow. Even if you're sleep deprived, you've got my full blessing. Wake up at 5 o'clock and do that thing. That one thing that'll move the needle, write it down somewhere that you're going to see it tomorrow. If you don't know exactly what to do, take a cold shower. You've got a shower in your house. If you don't, oh my god, mate, if you don't have a shower in your house, I don't know what to tell you. Bro, I know you've got a shower in your house, and I know that you can turn it on cold, and I know that you can step inside for 10 seconds. So why the hell don't you do it? Why the hell don't you want the dopamine increase? Why the hell don't you want your body to release some serotonin and some epinephrine, some adrenaline, getting you going, getting you motivated? You don't need me to motivate you. You don't need another Instagram reel to motivate you. You don't need anything but yourself to feel motivated. You don't need anything but your mind and some calculated action to feel motivated. Like, bro, a cold shower will spike your motivation and your discipline by about 500%, and this is literally written in studies that it will do that, and it'll keep the spike up for hours. Why the hell wouldn't you want that? That's what we call a competitive advantage. If that was put into a drug, people would pay for it. So why don't you just step into your goddamn shower on a cold setting? It's not that hard, is it? You'll feel mental friction, yeah, but just remember, there's a guy out there that's got what you want, that's doing what you won't do. So go and do something that's conducive to your goals, that will get you to where you need to be. And you can slowly add to these non-negotiables. So bro, I've told you the ones that are actually the highest leverage tasks. There are other tasks that you can do, some other habits that you can stack onto this that will make your day even better. It will build your mind, it will build the discipline engine, it will oil your engine in such a way that it performs so much more efficiently. You'll feel like higher energy, higher frequency as an individual throughout the day. These are some high level things you can do. This is stuff like meditation, breath work, visualization. There's a reason all of the top performing athletes do this. Affirmations. Bro, all of these things, there's a reason why the people who are the best in the world at a certain thing, like a certain sport, they all do this stuff. The best businessmen do this stuff. The best athletes, the best creatives like singers and artists, they all do this stuff. So why aren't you? Why the hell do you think that you want to be the best? You watch all these Instagram reels, you watch all these creators on TikTok that are telling you that they're self-improvement creators, but they're not really, because everyone watches these guys or like these girls who tell you how to live your life better. But if their advice really worked, don't you think that you and your friends wouldn't be miserable? Don't you think that you and your friends would have stopped scrolling by now? Bro, I used to watch these people and they're low-key evil because they won't tell you the exact ways to pattern up. They'll post a video of themselves looking good with like some generic quote over the top on Instagram reels, and you watch it thinking that they're your friend, thinking that this person's talking to you, thinking that this person's going to change your life, but you take zero action afterwards. So what the hell was the point of that screen time? Like, bro, you're watching this video now, you've probably added, like, by watching this video you've added something to your screen time, but if you take action from it, it's actually justified. You watch like 10, 20 self-improvement reels and nothing happens. Their advice doesn't work. Get it through your head that it is completely pointless watching that stuff. It pisses me off because I used to watch that stuff. I used to fall for it, bro. I used to watch these reels and these TikToks of guys that I thought would help me get to where I want to be, but it never ever helped. The thing that changed everything was when I started making myself promises and actually keeping them. Not big promises, small ones. Tomorrow I'm going to cold shower. Tomorrow I'm going to visualize for 2 minutes. Tomorrow I'm going to do 5 reps of press ups as soon as I wake up. Tomorrow I'm going to do breath work for 5 minutes. These are the needle moving tasks. And bro, now I think tomorrow I'm going to wake up and record a video for the boys. Bro, that's part of my goddamn mission. So I do something that's conducive to it every morning, and you need to do the same. Don't let this be unjustified screen time on your phone again. Don't let this be another video that you just watch mindlessly and you take no action towards. I told you to do 1 press up earlier, did you really do it? I hope you did, bro. Fuck the self-improvement creators that put some generic quote on their Instagram, bro. You're better than that. You're going for self-mastery. Keep improving till you become the master of your life, bro. You'll achieve anything you want once you become the master of your life. Once you build this elite daily routine, bro, where you wake up and you do something conducive every single day, before you sleep, you write down the thing that you're going to do tomorrow. Once you do this, once you determine your non-negotiable task and you do that every single day for the next 6 months, and you keep stacking 1 or 2 more good habits on top of that every single week, bro, you will become unrecognizable to those who know you. You will become absolutely mentally fortified. You will become physically different. You will have this glow about you. You've been doing all these good habits. You've maybe, bro, it's 6 months from now. If you do 1 good habit every day, you can potentially have about 180 good habits by then. And who's to say you can't do 2 good habits every day? So wake up early, you take a cold shower every single day. That's 2 good habits. That's like 360, mate. That's more than anyone close to you in your life has done, probably in the past year. And you've just done that over the course of 6 months. Bro, I want you to become unrecognizable. I want people to think, how the hell did he do that? I want people to talk about you. I want people to think that you've changed. I want people to think that you are literally unrecognizable, bro, in 6 months' time. Bro, I've built the full pathway. It includes everything that you need to know. Check the description down below. It's just for you, man.